It is too. No, it's not. It is too. No, it is not.
What are you guys arguing about?
Leprechaun says there is no such thing as International Podcast Day.
Well, everyone knows I only acknowledge St. Patty's Day. And maybe Halloween. And possibly April Fools.
All right, whatever. How about a compromise, you two?
Like what?
Let's all agree that St. Patrick's Day is pretty great,
Oh, yes.
but at the same time,
Sing it, sister!
hey,
Oh, sorry.
understand that September 30th is most definitely International Podcast Day.
And that's today.
Yes, so let's get the celebration started. Alex the computer, can you please start today's show?
Welcome, listeners, to Ishvan's Imaginary Podcast. Today's show starts in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's a podcast. Another podcast. Ishvan's Imaginary Podcast. Ishvan's Imaginary Podcast. Ishvan's Imaginary Podcast. Woo!
Welcome, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, because today is extra special since it is... Say it, Leprechaun.
I don't want to.
Come on, you have to.
Isn't it enough that I admitted it was a day?
No fair. You said you'd make a compromise. Ishvan, he isn't being fair.
Leprechaun,
Yes,
are you or are you not a man of honor?
I am. But don't forget, I'm also a crafty and sneaky son of a gun. And I'm just having fun.
I get it. Okay. But can you please just remind everybody why we're extra glad that they are listening to today's show?
All right. We're glad you've tuned in to the greatest podcast in the world, because today is International Podcast Day.
Thank you. You turned an announcement into a flex, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, I'm a little stinker.
You could say that again.
But in all seriousness, is it wrong to be proud of something you love?
Oh, jeez.
Is it wrong to be proud of something you work hard on day after day?
Here he goes.
That you put your heart and soul into week after week?
No, it's not.
Great, because Toby and I have prepared something for the listeners to help them understand and celebrate this new and exciting holiday.
That's correct. Guys, radio is so 20th century.
The world has long moved on from the radio and into the positively prolific platform of podcasts.
Podcasts have changed the game and the way people consume media. And for that reason, we celebrate this digital disruptor on September 30th.
Toby, my boy, how can I, a regular everyday Joe, celebrate International Podcast Day?
Great question. Here are just a few ways you can make this International Podcast Day the best one ever.
1.
Find a new podcast.
With apps like Pocket Cast, Podbean, not to mention Apple and Spotify, it's never been easier to find great podcasts. Browse by category or by popularity, and you're bound to find at least a dozen that you'll have a hard time turning off.
2.
Share your favorite podcast.
Is there a particular podcast you prefer?
Maybe one with a couple of charismatic co-hosts.
Then click on the favorite episode and copy the show link and paste it to your Facebook page or Instagram story, or maybe text or email it to a friend or family member.
3.
Donate to your favorite podcast.
Oh, this may be the most important of all.
Yes, many of the most popular podcasts survive on minimal ad revenue and donations from listeners just like you. Consider chipping in a few dollars to the show or producer you like so they can keep on broadcasting.
Because don't forget, most of your favorite shows are free for you to enjoy.
And that you can go back and binge episodes whenever you like.
So give thanks on this International Podcast Day. And thank you, dear listener, for joining Ishvan's Imaginary Podcast on this most hallowed holiday. Back to you, Ishvan.
Thanks, you guys. And yes, happy IPD. You made some very important points. You know, I love making this podcast. I think everybody knows that. It may be my favorite thing to do. And I want to encourage everyone listening to follow Toby and Leprechaun's suggestions. Suggestions like share the show. Yeah, if you listen to the show, say like on Apple Podcasts, you will see 3 little dots at the top right hand of the episode art. If you click those, you will see a drop down, and one of the options is copy link as one of your choices. So just click that, and then paste it into your social media to share.
Yeah, imagine instead of like a political post or some sort of there's an armada heading towards the planet post, you can put in something fun and nice and colorful and unexpected. Like, hey, why am I listening to a leprechaun?
Because it's awesome!
Yeah, I agree, it is. Now, to your point, Leprechaun, I want everybody definitely, if you haven't already, to go to my website, ishvansongs.com, where we have an easy way for you to make a very much appreciated contribution to my virtual tip jar. All summer long, people at my concerts showed appreciation and their generosity by tipping me and buying merch. And when you do that, it helps us not only make the podcast, it allows me to make new music and cool new stuff that I've got coming very soon.
Yeah, so head to the website and give us your gold!
Hey, while we're on the topic of moolah, Alex, can you please play my song, Pennies, Nickels, Dimes, and Quarters?
Great idea.
Thanks, I thought so.
Here is Pennies, Nickels, Dimes, and Quarters from Ishvan's album, Playtime.
Do you know the value of a penny or a dime? A penny is worth one, the other doesn't have a rhyme. But I can tell you that a little dime is worth 10, which when you think about it is a bunch of pennies in the end. But I forgot to tell you that a nickel's in between. A nickel's kind of weird because it's smaller than it seems. A nickel, when you look at it, is bigger than a dime, but it's only worth half as much. It's worth 5. When you multiply 5 times 5, or when you see an average blue whale in the water, then you know you've counted to 25, or that you've got yourself a brand new quarter. 'Cause a penny is only 1. A nickel, it's worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is only half of 10. 10 is what you get with 1 thin dime. And when you multiply 5 times 5, or when you see an average blue whale in the water, then you know you've counted to 25, but that you've got yourself a brand new quarter. When you multiply 5 times 5, or when you see an average blue whale in the water, then you know you've counted to 25, but that you've got yourself a brand new quarter.
Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
Hey, let's keep the thank yous rolling, shall we?
Oh, okay, let me go first. I would like to thank my dog Scampers for being my best buddy.
Oh, let me go next. A heartfelt thank you to Home Run Inn for making the most delicious frozen pizza this leprechaun has ever tasted.
Okay, well, all thank yous are welcome. That's great. I was thinking more along the lines of thanking all the libraries and other great people who hosted my concerts this summer and beyond, as well as the kids and families who attended. Thank you, guys. And, of course, all the people who tune into the podcast, right?
Oh yeah,
yes.
those guys,
Gotta
of
thank
course.
those
sure,
guys.
Yes,
Can't do it
thanks
without
a
the
million.
old listeners.
All right. Now, as we move forward into the holiday season and, dare I say, the new year.
Oh, come on. It's still warm outside. Summer's still lingering in the air.
I know, but time marches on. I just want to let these guys know about the cool new stuff I mentioned and that I still have shows coming up this year.
Oh, yeah. Can I tell them about the New Year's Eve one?
Yes, please do.
You guys, Ishvan was asked to be part of the DuPage Children's Museum Bubble Bash, which is their big New Year's Eve extravaganza.
Oh, I want to go. Toby, let's get to work on a new disguise for me after the show.
Oh, yeah, I've got some good ideas.
Oh, yeah, I would love if you went. Guys, get to work because I am super looking forward to playing this special event and hopefully partner with the DuPage Children's Museum after that show. They are great and host so many cool things. So mark your calendars, you guys, and get your tickets December 31st.
Just go to istvansongs.com for concert dates and other info.
Yes, and that is a perfect segue because the big part of this podcast today, you guys, is to kind of point out how much more important I am making my website as we go into the future, because that is where I am going to be posting some really cool exclusive content.
Oh, really? Like what?
I'm glad you asked, you little stinker.
Hey!
Alex,
Lego builds.
I'll be posting super cool Lego time-lapse videos on my website and on my YouTube channel.
Guitar tutorials.
Guys, I have been asked so many times over the years if I give lessons. I always had to say no until now. My tutorials will be posted on my website exclusively and available to kids and adults with no subscription necessary. Again, I am just hoping that fans and followers will support all the cool content by leaving tips at my online tip jar.
Marmo Puppet Theater.
This is what really inspired the whole thing. I was on the verge of posting standalone Marmo Puppet Theater videos like I normally would on my YouTube channel. And then I stopped and I thought, why? Why am I making super cool, one-of-a-kind content and slaving for a platform that doesn't really care? So yeah, this made me realize how important my website is. It already is. But if I make that like a gathering place on the internet to let everybody know that Ishvan Songs is a place to go that has great stuff, safe from the whims and algorithms of the other platforms. These videos are for everyone, but also I feel like they could be a learning tool that teachers or daycare workers or librarians can use to help like reinforce good behavior in a really fun and sweet way.
Now listen, that's all well and good. But as a regular, everyday, hard-working Joe, I'm wondering how are you going to get all that accomplished? I mean, there are only 24 hours in the day.
Well, that's the point. I want to shift a bit in what I do and how I reach everyone. I want to use my website and still use whatever social media to connect with everyone, and you and Toby are already helping.
We are?
Yeah, you guys made the great video to commemorate International Podcast Day today.
Oh, that's right. I think I'm going to be an influencer.
Slow down. You have to practice a little bit more, but maybe.
So if we keep doing stuff like that and the things that I just mentioned, and we're just a little bit clear, like right now, for our listeners to know what to look out for and where to find it, I think everything's going to be even more fun than before.
Yeah, so keep on tuning into the podcast, you guys, and make sure you're following Ishvan wherever you can.
Like Tic Tacs,
TikTok,
Faceplant,
Facebook,
Instacart,
oh, Instagram,
YouTube.
Oh, no, that's right. Good job. YouTube.
1 out of 4 ain't bad.
Yeah, good work. And of course, ishvansongs.com, most of all, because there's lots of great content coming your way.
And great new episodes of the podcast.
That's right. But until our next new episode, I am Ishvan.
And I'm Toby.
I'm Alex the Computer.
And I'm the Leprechaun.
Goodbye.
Hi guys, it's Ishvan.
And Toby.
And we want to thank everyone for listening to the show.
Yeah, and we also want to remind everyone to help us keep the show commercial-free by going to Ishvan's Venmo virtual tip jar at Ishvan Songs.
Yeah, that's ISTVANSONGS. And leave a much appreciated tip, big or small, to keep the podcast going into the new year.
Yeah, because we love making this show, and every little bit helps.
Again, that's at Ishvan Songs via Venmo. Thanks, you guys, from all of us at Ishvan's Imaginary Podcast.
Bye, you guys.